So it looked like Angel Reese is back in the headlines after another unrivaled basketball game.
Angel Reese's recent performance in the unrivaled league has raised major concerns, particularly after freezing out Lexie Hull, who was wide open under the basket. This decision highlights ongoing issues with Reese's court awareness and decision-making. Chicago Sky fans should be worried, as these red flags point to serious flaws in her game. In today's video, we'll break down how Reese's me-first mentality is affecting her development, teamwork, and overall impact on the court. We'll also explore how her actions might be causing frustration among her teammates.
No, we're not going to keep creating this false narrative that content creators is picking on Angel Reese, because Angel Reese does it to herself and she never ceases to amaze me.
Did you catch the moment when Lexie Hull was wide open under the basket, arms raised for an easy score? It was the perfect chance for Angel Reese to make a simple, fundamental play. Instead, what happened next was honestly shocking and left fans shaking their heads.
And how one performance, and most importantly, one particular play, should send a shiver of fear, should frighten the hell out of Chicago Sky fans everywhere, because it's something, frankly, Sky fans saw a lot of last year.
Let me break down this crucial possession for you. Rose BC needed points, and they had the perfect setup. Hull made a brilliant cut to the basket, finding herself completely unguarded, no defenders around. It was the kind of opportunity where players typically celebrate the 2 points before the ball even arrived.
And that's the fact that when Angel Reese gets the ball in her hands anywhere close to the basket, she will not give the ball up. It's selfish basketball. It's a lack of awareness. And this might be the most egregious case of it.
Here's where it gets mind-boggling. Angel Reese, with the ball and a clear view of Hull standing wide open with her arms raised, completely ignored her. Instead of making the easy pass, Reese turned her back on her teammate and forced up a contested shot with defenders all over her. Predictably, she missed it completely.
All right, now let's look at it one more time. Hold on. Pass it in to Angel. Look at this, folks. That's Lexie Hull. Right there. Right there. Wide ass open. Does she get the ball? Let's. I mean, what are you doing?
This wasn't just a bad decision in the heat of the moment. It's basketball tunnel vision at its worst. Once Reese has the ball, it's as if the court shrinks to just her and the basket. Her teammates might as well be invisible, with Reese entirely focused on her.
One more time. Full speed. Here we go. In. Cuts back into the lane. Wide open on the basket for the shot. Angel not only did not pass the ball back out to Lexie Hull, but she missed another freaking.
The numbers from this game paint an even bigger picture. Reese finished just 4 of 10 from the field, and those misses weren't from tough shots. We're talking about basic finger rolls and close-range attempts, exactly the same finishing issues she struggled with last season with the Chicago Sky. These are shots a professional basketball player should be making consistently.
I can't believe that. I mean, Lexie Hull couldn't be more wide open there with nobody around. Just a little lay-in, ball comes into her, little lay-in, Angel gets an assist and plays good, sound basketball. Never happened.
Imagine being Lexie Hull in that moment. You've done everything right, created space, gotten wide open, and called for the ball, ready to help your team. But your teammate doesn't even look your way. How demoralizing is that? It's bound to affect your energy on the next defensive possession and your willingness to make those same cuts in future plays. This kind of isolation can seriously damage team chemistry.
I mean, Lexie Hull, she starved to death. Right there, wide open. By the way, Lexie Hull, 1 of 9 from the field. She couldn't hit shit either. But, you know, I couldn't find any blatant instances of her being downright selfish as F.
What we're seeing here is basketball selfishness that harms everyone. It hurts Hull, who misses the easy bucket she created. It hurts the team, losing out on almost guaranteed points. And ultimately, it hurts Reese, whose inefficiency around the rim becomes even more obvious when she forces shots instead of taking what the defense gives her.
And I don't care that Lexie Hull was cold from the field. She didn't do well in this game either. But no thanks to Angel Reese, they certainly lost points on this possession.
That selfish play was just a symptom of a much larger issue that surfaced in the second half. How does a professional player go from posting a near double-double before halftime to contributing 0 points after the break? The answer exposes exactly why Chicago Sky fans should be hitting the panic button right now.
The article goes on to say Rose BC was on a 5-game winning streak, and another propelled them to a playoff spot. Star trio Chelsea Gray, Lexie Hull, and Angel Reese surely had the win in sight, but the performance only has come from one. The Chi-Town Barbie performance was a far cry from dominant 2020 she had just had days ago.
Let's revisit those first half numbers. 8 points and 10 rebounds in just 13 minutes. Impressive production. Any coach would be thrilled with that kind of efficiency. You'd expect Reese to come out of the locker room ready to dominate and help her team secure the win. Instead, things took a drastic turn.
So, her game yesterday. My God. Right here, 71-62, a loss. And her game was ugly. Real ugly. 4 of 10 from the field, so we're back to that. Can't shoot from the field at all. We're back to not making layups.
Instead, we witnessed one of the most dramatic disappearing acts in recent memory. 0 points, not a single bucket, not even a free throw. It was as if someone flipped a switch, and the player who was grabbing boards and scoring in first half just vanished.
Man, my God, it was bad. It really was. And she got completely shut out in the second half of this game. All right, not involved at all.
Here's where things get really concerning. Reese picked up 4 personal fouls in the second half. That's not just bad luck, it's a clear sign of defensive frustration and lack of discipline. When a player racks up fouls like that, it forces them to play more passively or even sit on the bench. Either way, their impact on the game takes a major hit.
So this is what happened. At halftime, Angel Reese had 8 points, 10 rebounds in 13 minutes. She shot 4 of 9 from the field, including 0 for 1 from beyond the arc, 0 of 1 from the free throw range. She had 2 turnovers. In the second half, she disappeared, folks.
While Reese was collecting fouls and contributing nothing on offense, Chelsea Gray was putting on an absolute clinic. With 38 points, Gray showed what a true competitor looks like, stepping up when it mattered most. She wasn't just scoring, she was leading, creating opportunities, and willing her team to victory.
I mean, Chelsea Gray out there was fighting for her life, scored 38 points. 38 damn points, okay?
The contrast couldn't be starker. One player rises to the challenge, takes responsibility, and lifts her teammates. The other shrinks from a moment, becomes a liability, and leaves her teammates hanging when they need her most.
To save the troubles, Captain Chelsea Gray stepped up big time. She ended the night with 38 points out of the team 62 and 8 rebounds. That's why a fan added for Chelsea. She's really doing all she had to do to save her teammates.
What's particularly troubling is that this wasn't just a case of Reese having an off shooting night. It wasn't about missed shots or tough defense. This was a complete surrender. When the fouls piled up, she had no plan B, no way to adjust her game and remain effective while in foul trouble.
The 22-year-old failed to add any points in the second half and ended with 13 boards. By the way, she also got herself in foul trouble, 4 personal fouls.